seen those videos from before. That was some sad shit, and that's exactly why I don't make videos about my feelings, which is exactly why I detached from my feelings. That was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And then I had to go wash my brain. Welcome therapy. I don't know how other people deal with like sad circumstances and like trauma that happens in their life, but me, I go out of my way to turn something that was negative into a positive situation so that I don't have to remember the negativity. I already can't remember much but an actual feeling or an emotion whenever I remember shit. So I don't want to create a situation where I dwell and become like a victim in my own life. To me, that's the definition of purgatory. So when I detach from my emotions, it's because I know that I'm super sensitive. Like, I understand that I'm a crybaby and that I will say that everything is me because I was sheltered. Like, the fuck are you telling me? And the meanest person I deal with is my mom because, well, I guess she won't let a motherfucker miss nothing. And then also, like, I was raised through the healthcare system socially, so many boundaries and things that I have to unearth. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm just like, poor baby. But life goes on. Like, what the fuck? What do you want me to do? This household that I grew up in is a well-oiled machine. And since I became old enough to understand where my place was in the machine, I just decided, like, hey, I'm help. But that's also like my natural alignments, like how that's set up. Like, I'm going to help. Check this out though. Like, I'm also gonna help myself. What are you talking about? I went to see my cousins. Like, we all packed up, went to go see my cousins so that we can go celebrate Anna's birthday. And I met two lovely women, Jasmine and Ashley, that were friends of my cousins as well. And I'm just sitting there like, wow, this is what I needed. I need multiple women in order to separate my ideologies about one man. So now in my recovery process, I'm seeing women display all kinds of passion, emotions and stuff, and it's okay. I'm like, it's okay? Like, are you sure it's okay? Because number one, there's nothing but bullies in this house, and I keep separating from it. If you see my videos, it's just like, I don't want to be like her. It's because I keep looking at it and I keep trying to separate from it. And I'm knowing that it's something that it's not something that I have to separate from. It's just that I need to encompass my own, I just need to, what the fuck was I talking about? I forget about a serious topic just that quick. What was I talking about? I forget about something serious just that quick because, like, I joke around too much too. Like, when I'm watching the videos, I'm like, yo, like, when did this turn into actual therapy? Because ultimately, I just wanted to make these fucking videos and podcasts to crack jokes about, like, how fucked up my life was and my upbringing was. And I'm like, I'm really in my feelings right now. Like, you can tell that I'm really in my feelings. But I'm looking at the videos like, wow, they really decided to put you in your feelings. Watch me get out. Because I don't play that. Like, that's just... my misogyny wants to come out. I don't want to say it's disgusting, but it's not disgusting. I'm sorry. Being sensitive is not disgusting. It's just, for me, it doesn't allow me to get anything done. So when I need to see it I need to see it played out in my face logically, because I will anticipate and build anxiety around a possible and create a fear that was not necessary because I created a judgment. You see what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, the prison and the purgatory that I put on myself is myself, which is why I go out of my way to make sure I change that shit. Which is why when I was fat, I went out of my way to make sure I changed it, which is why when things happen to me, I go out of my way to not play victim anymore. But then the problem with that is that sometimes I don't know when to give myself that go ahead, like when to see myself that blah, like, it's okay for you to cry about this situation right now. Like, I don't think that anytime, because look here, as they would say, money have to make food happen now. So I don't have time to sit on that. I don't want to cry over some foolishness. So when y'all, I'm sitting there looking in the video and I'm full fledged like trying to stop myself from tearing up. I'm like, oh, you poor, 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 poor thing, because you needed something and I didn't know what it was that you needed in order to give it to you. Let me fix it. Because that's also my personality type. Like when I sit on there, I'm like, oh, okay, like I'll try to like, let me try and fix it. Let me try to put a band-aid over it. Like I didn't know that was my bad. Let me fix it. Because I don't ever think that nothing can be fixed, especially when I'm expressing good intentions. It was a lovely weekend. The women that I was around were nothing but loving and accepting. Even even one of the older ones that didn't really know me, and she was having like this very interesting moment, and I was just here for it because I was like, what? Because her emotions and what she was emoting was so strong, and it just so happened to be about the fact that she was a mother, and I'm just sitting here like, right place, right time, right place, right time, and trying to relearn like different aspects of it, because it's not for me to judge, it's just for me to make a different decision. But when I get stuck in judgment thinking that I'm the judge, jury, and execution, this is where I get stuck in purgatory. Like I'm still on the same page as book, and it will bother me. Like it bothers me because I write, so it bothers me because I can see it. Because why have I not moved past this particular situation? So I'm seeing it and I'm like accepting all these women for what they are. I'm accepting all these women for their truth, and they're talking to me. Even like when I went with my older cousin, I look up to her like nobody's business. I remember when I was smaller, I wanted to be around her all the time, but they lived in LA and my mom had decided that she didn't want that kind of life for herself. But then we're getting reconnected to my cousin and everything, and I'm just like, she has a child. Like I said, you can't tell me nothing about my best friend, because we care about kids' emotions here. We give people's children voices here, and we follow whatever the parents' rules are. So whenever my cousin is around and her kids around, I'll be over there playing with her because like she just wants to be involved. I see her around her mom all the time too. It's just her. She's like, hey mom, and she like loves on her and stuff like that. I think it's adorable. And my cousin was like, I'm gonna take a weekend, because she'd already planned it, and she was like, I'm gonna take a weekend. And at some point, baby woke up. She was like, hey mom, where are you? And they were talking. And even my cousin-in-law, because she's got kids from my cousin, she's like, I want to be out, I'm enjoying my time. She was like, but I do miss my kids. And it was important for me to see all these things. Like I said, I need to watch my own brain. It's important for me to see this because I need to understand that it could be done. Not that it shouldn't have been done and oh, everybody's wrong for not. That either or black and white type of mentality that I have, it leaves me stagnant sometimes. And this weekend really like put everything in perspective for me, and I gained a new appreciation for ultimately like womanhood in general. Like I'm so obsessed over the thought process because it's something that I really, really, really need to rinse out. Because I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this loving something so much to where you can't rip away from it? My cousin sitting right there, she's like, oh no, I love my daughter. She was like, well, I'm gonna take some time and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do mommy and me shit again. And I'm like, okay. Because like the baby's with her dad and everything's copacetic. Who we went to her house, she didn't have any kids. So I'm just looking at all these dynamics. I don't have any kids either. I just walk around like old maid. Like I'm grandma. Like what the fuck? I've always been a grandma. Like what is wrong with you? But I'm like a cool hip type of like, I'm like a cool hip kind of grandma personality stuck in a young person's body. But don't worry about it. Like I get jiggy with y'all. I could drink. I could like have fun. And at the end of it, I'm ready to go to sleep. Like I know my limits. I'm ready to go to sleep. It was a really good time and it was healthy for me and it was a great experience. Even though I can't identify my feelings for what they are, I know what's the next feeling that I need to feel in order to get the fuck out of them shits. Oh, I might not be able to put it into words sometimes, but oh, hi. That part right there.